the tickers get high. Giants do the wave like they know I'm that guy. Bulls break loose when I whisper a trade. Your stock's in a red, guess who got paid? Strutting in suede with the alligator boots. Come on! Got your lady by the waist, now she loving my moves, yeah. Ticker tape fall like confetti in the air. I make a bear turn bull with a devilish stare. Woo! Feather in a hat, diamonds in the door. Turn one into 10 and flip it some more. Cash like waves keep crashing ashore. Time for the game, better check the scoreboard. Got that Midas touch, every bet go. While you playing checkers, I'm running the whole board. Limit up, limit down, baby, I don't flinch. Woo! Tipped in velvet, my pockets deep like a trench. Woo! Got my feet on the desk, Wall Street's on my line. Ring, ring! Saying velvet, how you do it, every call so divine. Hot, hot, hot. Told him, listen, little player, I was born to shine. I see green every morning when I open my eyes. Cha-ching! Ooh, they jealous of the game. Yeah! Velvet Kohrs. Ooh, they whispering my name. Say it! Velvet Y'all ain't never seen a player this cold. Stealing your girl,
printing money in gold.
From the charts to the club,
my legend unfolds.
Y'all just watching while my pockets explode. Time!
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where I'm Matt Kohrs and you folks are the show. It is a beautiful Wednesday, aka Hump Day, November the 5th. I hope you had a great morning. I hope you had a great day yesterday. I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you are ready for an upcoming, ideally, phenomenal weekend. Folks, good morning, good morning, good morning. Who is here early this morning? Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, Pickle Me Timbers. Good morning, Trex. Good morning, Edwin. Good morning, Justin. Good morning, Prophet, EGF, Rumblebot's in here. I don't think that's a real human, but hey, good morning regardless. Good morning, Standing Red. Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone involved. Folks, we're here for another stock market open. We're here for another session of degenerate trading in the world's largest casino. And hopefully, fingers crossed, not only do we make a little bit of money, but hopefully we have a little guest appearance from the world's leading influencer in the trading space. Where is Piper? She was just here. She was doing something. Maybe she had... I don't know. Maybe she had to go take a dump or something. I have no idea. But folks, I hope you're having a good one. Like I said, it is a Wednesday. It is a post-election day. And it turns out that the Democrats swept in all of the contested elections. So we're going to get a little bit into that because, of course, the composition of the government does have an impact on the economy and thus then the stock market. So I just want to give you a really quick recap there. We're not going to spend too much time. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the government shutdown. We're seeing signs that maybe we're making some progress in terms of when the government will reopen. And then, of course, we'll be diving into the earnings from market close yesterday, also the ones this morning, and then we're going to get prepped up for the day today. So hopefully I can get this all in before that bell goes dingity ding 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 at 9:30. So from there, maybe, just maybe, we can make some good decisions today. Folks, I appreciate you joining this early. I know it's the crack of dawn. We are up before the farmers. I mean, it's only 9:04 in the morning. I don't know of any other community that gets up this early. We are up before the farmers, the workers. Like, we're up before the sun here, folks. It's 9:04 in the morning. No one gets up this early. So I do appreciate you guys stopping by. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. That type of engagement really does help me in getting this video to other people who might want to join the Goonie cult with all of us. And on that note, I should probably start doing my job and get rocking. S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures fall, led by losses in AMD. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but if I rewind here, I have a feeling that they already updated it because if you look at the futures market right now, we are pretty much break even. The SPY was very weak last night. The Qs were very weak last night. But then starting at 6 a.m. till now, we've seen kind of a systematic push just up to the closing value. So we're not really green. We're not really red. We were very red, but we're bouncing back a little bit. Same thing in the Russell. Bitcoin was below 100,000, recovering a little bit, currently at 103. If you look at volatility, it was a bit higher. Now it's once again we're basically where we closed at yesterday. So yeah, the overnight session was a little suspect, but obviously a few dip buyers did come in. So we're going to see how this session plays out today. As I already alluded to, the hot news of the day is the fact that it's the day after. Democrats dent Trump's coalition with 3 big election victories. We're talking Virginia, we're talking New Jersey, and we are talking in New York City. So in New Jersey and in Virginia, the gubernatorial, aka the governor race, was won by the Democrats. And obviously, as you probably already know, in the city of New York City, Mindani won. Dominant electoral wins give Democrats a jolt of energy while Republicans see a warning sign. So just to give you the skinny on it, Wall Street couldn't stop Mayor Mamdani. Now it has to work with him. Some leading figures of the financial world spent millions to elevate other candidates in New York City mayoral race. So we in New York City, where I am at right now, we have officially elected a socialist, which is crazy, especially because New York City is the epitome of capitalism. But yeah, this is what happens when you basically promise free stuff. Like, that's when you have an uninformed voter bloc that are feeling financial pressures, and then you have one guy who's saying, hey, I'll give you free stuff. And of course, don't ask the question of how you're going to give us free stuff. Don't ask the question of how you're going to fund it. Just say, hey, I'm going to give you free stuff. Everyone's like, cool. Yeah, life's all already crappy. It can't get much worse. So this guy's promising free stuff. So even if it's not likely, on the off chance that he can deliver, we might as well give him his vote. Obviously, that's my opinion of how he got put in. And also, my opinion of how he got put in is if he had to run against any legitimate candidate, he probably would have lost. But the fact is that the person who had the best chance of beating him was Andrew Cuomo, who is widely despised. He was credibly accused of assault. He ended up unaliving people during Rona with the whole boat thing. He's not a liked guy. Obviously, way back when, maybe circa 2020, he would have been dominant at one point. I remember when he was the dark horse candidate for potentially being the Democratic nominee for president. And then he basically had a speed run competition of blowing up an entire political career. So the fact that we just put up like one dude who knows nothing about the economy, he has never worked a day in his life, against a guy who's just unanimously disliked, well, this is what we get, folks. This is what we get. And I'm not happy about it, obviously, but I think in a certain way we're going to get what we deserve. And when these were the two major candidates, I mean, What's the saying? Between a rock and a hard place, the lesser of two evils. I understand why people voted one way. I understand why people voted the other way. And if anything, I believe New York City has about 10 million people. Statistically, just the fact that we couldn't put up 2 people out of 10 million who were just absolutely lights out impressive. Well, the odds suggest we could, but like I said, I think we're about to get what we deserve. And if you ask me, coming into this, I think there's going to be a little bit of a flash in the pan, if you will. I think maybe he's going to be like, look at, buses are cheaper for a month, or look at, we have this one grocery store that we cap prices on. But I don't think it's really going to move the needle in one direction or the other. I think by the time we fast forward to the end of his, not really campaign, but his administration, for lack of a better word, by the time we get to the end of it, I think we're all going to shrug shoulders and be like, yeah, remember when he tried like that one thing and it like worked for a little bit and then it didn't work and that's it. I see a lot of people saying time to move. I don't think it's going to push anything really one direction or the other. Like I said, I think if just my prediction here, I think he's going to come on hot. I think we're going to hear about all these things. I think we're going to realize that it's actually like a very gridlock political system and it's tough to do things, especially when there's a large dollar sign associated with it. And then we're going to realize that all these lofty things he's promised, like we see with all politicians, when he isn't able to deliver, the voter base is going to be like, okay, cool. Well, life sucked before. This guy promised us good stuff. Life still sucks. So let's just move on to the next candidate. It's the political pendulum back and forth, back and forth. So I'm not expecting anything like too crazy to happen. And honestly, I wasn't expecting anything too crazy to happen with Cuomo. We're going to get a couple I guess sound bites here and there. We'll probably get a couple tweets that maybe people agree with, maybe people get pissed off about. But at the end of the day, I think the TLDR here is, as much as maybe it's dressed up as something special, if I really, really had to guess, I think that this is going to end up being a gigantic nothing burger. 765,000 people willing to move immediately is a lot. No, that was already proven to be false. You are falling into... like that literally already got community noted on Twitter. So you unfortunately fell for another piece of fake news. Once again, like this is the internet, and I get it. I'm a part of the internet too. It's hard day in and day out to discern what's real, what's not real. But this idea of close to 1 million people leaving New York, that's already been community noted on Twitter. It's just not real. Like the accounts that were pumping that really, really contorted some data and some commentary. It's just simply not true. Go look at the biggest counts that have been putting that out there, and they've already been community noted. I saw the same thing. It was up there. And once again, just do a little bit of extra research. And I'm not saying it's the easiest thing, like, because people are putting out shit all the time, but I don't think 1 million people are going to be leaving. I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. And in a certain way, like, I very much hope I'm not wrong, because if my prediction of it being a nothing burger is inaccurate, that means a lot of extreme stuff is going to be going down, and all of a sudden crime's going to spike, and homelessness is going to be more of a prolific issue, and the most wealthy are going to leave, and they're going to take their tax dollars elsewhere. Like, it could go down a really, really like slippery path. And obviously I care a little bit more because I am here, but also just as a member of the United States, you should care about the other actual citizens here. We should never be hoping for any city to go to shit. Even with places where I don't agree with the government, when I don't agree with the governor, the mayor, the whole thing, the school board, I'm still hoping that they could pull out of a tailspin, because once again, we're all still members of the exact same nation. And if you happen to be where I am, we're all members of the same like state. Like, we should never be hoping that things spiral into such an uncontrollable manner that like true chaos ensues. Like, we should, if anything, like, and I guess I've always hold that thought of no matter who's president, like, you want them to work it out. Like, you don't want your predictions of what the worst avenue is to come to reality, because once again, that means that major people, like people, our fellow citizens, are going to be negatively impacted. And I guess if your hope is that negative things happen to your fellow neighbor, I mean, maybe you should do a little bit of self-reflection. But anyway, it's not just about me. It's not just about New York. It is a wider spread issue. And this is potentially suggestive of coming up into the midterms that the Republicans might have legitimate issues, because in these quote unquote contested elections that we just had, specifically also in New Jersey and Virginia, the Democrats swept.
There are two big numbers to start with when we think about how Democrats pulled off these big wins that we saw in Tuesday's elections around the country. The first, 15%. That's the margin of victory that Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic candidate for governor in Virginia, won in her race.
Virginia chose pragmatism over partisanship.
Whoa.
We chose our Commonwealth over chaos.
And 13%. That was the margin of victory that Democrat Mikey Sherrill
Kinda
won
dominant.
in her campaign for governor in New Jersey.
Here in New Jersey, we know that this nation has not ever been, nor will it ever be, ruled by kings.
Those are really big numbers, and they take those two races in these marquee elections out of the realm of being close, marginal Democratic wins that don't tell us a lot, to being really strong wins and crushing defeats for Republicans. Let's talk about two ways that Spanberger and Sherrill won, and Zoran Mondani, the Democratic socialist who won the office of mayor in New York City.
Crazy.
The future
Socialist.
is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
All three of them ran on a campaign of affordability, making everyday life more affordable for people who live in those states.
Yeah, because
and in
inflation
New
and the
York City.
economy suck
and they made
right
that
now.
argument at a time
It's a smart
when
campaign
Democrats are arguing
strategy.
that Donald Trump promised to bring down prices, but hasn't. And when polling shows that voters give low marks to Trump for his handling of the economy and inflation. This had been a real weak spot for Democrats in 2024. Voters were angry at the high inflation economy of the Joe Biden years. And Donald Trump, the businessman president, persuaded Americans that he could use his business savvy to lower the cost of living for Americans. Well, a year later, polling shows that Donald Trump gets very low marks for handling the economy and handling inflation, and Democrats argue that he hasn't followed through on his promise to make life more affordable.
Yes, Republicans are the minority party, but that means also being the loyal opposition and continuing to ensure
This is
that
the
our
guy
voice
who
is
lost
heard.
in New Jersey.
Now, how did Republicans lose? Let's start with Donald Trump and his job approval rating, because it looks like that was a big factor here. Polling of the election showed us that in New Jersey, Trump's job approval rating was 42%. And in Virginia, only 40% of voters who participated in the election gave Trump a positive job approval rating. And as it happens, the Republican candidates for governor could not outrun Trump's job approval rating. Another thing Republicans need to think about is what's happening to their coalition. They came out of the 2024 elections thinking that they had made big strides toward an important goal. Rather than being a party that relies solely on the white working class, they made strides in becoming the party that has a multiracial, multi-ethnic working class constituency, because Latino voters, black voters, and other minority voters, as well as young voters, shifted remarkably toward the Republican Party last year. Well,
Especially
today,
young
we're learning
men.
that
Gen
that
Z
trend
men
seems
really
to
push
have
Republican.
Not only abated, but reversed. We see Latino voters and black voters shifting back to the Democratic Party compared to where they were just a year ago. It's a long way to the midterm elections. A lot's going to happen between now and then. For one thing, the tax cuts that Republicans passed under Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill, as he called it, will soon kick in. That may influence voter views. Another thing to keep in mind is that some of the Democrats on Tuesday had pretty weak opponents. In Virginia, the Republican candidate didn't rally her party behind her, didn't get a lot of donations or support from Republicans. And in New York, Zoran Mondani had the benefit of running against two candidates who seemed to have split the opposition against him. But in swing districts, in the races for House, and in swing states for the races for Senate, Republicans are going to have to decide, based on what we saw today, whether it's better to embrace the MAGA agenda and try to bring out Republican voters, or to move to the middle. At least in New Jersey and Virginia, being identified with the Trump agenda was not very successful today.
All right, so that was a pretty solid rundown, in my opinion, of what's going on. That was from the Wall Street Journal. And I don't know, sometimes I just feel like a crazy person, but right here, Democratic victories give party roadmap for beating Trump. has no one ever realized that the entire way that politics work is someone gets into office, everyone to get into office promises these lofty things. And then the person running against them in the next election, all you have to do is point out how they haven't achieved it because, once again, they were promising very, very lofty things. And you point out, be like, hey, this person promised your life would get better. Is your life better? And then the average voter's like, no. And they're like, well, hey, you might as well give me a shot. And obviously, that takes on different forms and flavors and verbiage. But overall, that's all it is the person gets in for whatever reason. You point out every single thing they promise and how they fell short of it. And you say, hey, things are not good. They promise you better. You might as well give me a shot. Then we put in that person who's, once again, promising very lofty things. And then the next person points out how they weren't able to deliver. And we just continually go back and forth. Back and forth. And the fact that we think there's anything new under the sun and this is somehow novel, it drives me up a wall. This is all how it's going to go. So when does the pendulum come back? I don't know. Maybe it's going to come back in the midterm election. I have no clue. Maybe it's going to come back in the next election, the presidential election. I don't know. But that's all this is. It's a pendulum back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And the fact that people are somehow acting that this is like new and a surprise, I just think it's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. How are you doing? Piper wants to say something. Do you have anything you want to say to everyone here? No? Not today? You're going to keep your market secrets to yourself? You want me to shut the fuck up? Okay. Yep. I will be shutting up. Hang on. You gotta let go. Good? You gonna sleep there? Is it nap time? Market's almost open. All right. Where were we at? Right here. Oh, interesting. Longest shutdown in history cost U.S. economy about $15 billion each week. The other thing that I want to pick up is, remember, regardless of what's going on and whose fault it is, heavy lies the crown. Whoever's currently in control, that's where it's all going to be attributed to. Doesn't matter the actual facts of the story, doesn't matter the actual nuances and details. But right now, and like I said, you are welcome to your opinion, and your opinion, maybe you've done some research and is actually right. But right now, going into this particular election, government shutdown, we have people who are not getting their paychecks. We know that inflation is not good. We know the economy is weakening, and yet the upper class is doing well because the stock market's at an all-time high. So this is going to be attributed to Trump. And once again, I am not saying that that is an accurate takeaway, but I'm just saying, remember that the average person going in to vote does not spend as much time doing a breakdown of what the situation is. They don't spend enough time talking about the economy and inflation and breaking down certain laws, rules, procedures. Remember, the average person barely even reads headlines. Think about what the average voter actually is. Don't project your knowledge and your research on this situation. Think about the average voter. So going into it, this is where we get into situations where, once again, I am not saying this is the accurate takeaway, but the average person is like, wow, things are kind of rough right now. My paychecks are either low or they're completely missing. Inflation isn't good. I know my neighbors are having a rough time. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that people are like switching it up. Like 100%. And right now, we're actually about to be potentially heading into one of the longest shutdowns ever. Government shutdown set to become the longest ever after the Senate vote fails. So right now, looking at Poly Market, we do see an interesting shift in odds. I want to point out that it's pretty much equal between reopening between the 8th and the 11th next week, and then after the 16th. So we're seeing a clear shift recently. So I wanted to point that out, maybe giving a little bit of an inkling that we are closer to the end of this than we are the middle or the start. But even here, we finally flattened out in how long, according to Kohrs, we're stuck at 45 days. I feel like every day I've been showing you this over the past 2 to 3 weeks. Every day I show you it's just increasing. You can now see that pretty much since the start of November, we are successfully just going sideways. So I just wanted to point that out to everyone that maybe we're seeing a signs, like some positive signs. Now, bringing it back to the market today, I do want to let you know that we are getting some information particularly related to services, PMI, and prices at 9:45 and 10 a.m. today. And then just so you know, President Trump will be speaking at 1 p.m. So this is a new thing on the schedule. I don't know off the top of my head what this is related to, but I just want to let you know, macroeconomic data drop 9:45, 10 a.m. to really get the day going. And then later on this afternoon, Trump will be speaking. He was already speaking this morning. And from what I understood about it, most of it was related to getting rid of the filibuster, but feel free to fact check me on that. Beyond the overall market and the economy, let's talk about individual stocks. After the market closed yesterday, we heard from AMD and Supermicro, and it did not go well. AMD reports better than expected results, but margin guidance only meets estimates. So remember how I've been explaining to you that right now too many people are too excited to the upside? Well, when that happens, you get this situation where when you don't extremely over deliver, well, you're going to get hit. Right now, AMD currently down 2.4%, even though it had pretty acceptable earnings. Because it wasn't phenomenal, that's why it's going down. Supermicro stock drops on slumping sales, weak earnings. On the flip side, when you have legitimately bad earnings and people were still absurdly bullish, that's exactly how you get a 6.5% drop. So the reason I'm bringing these two up is because AMD and SMCI, they both are clearly connected to the world of semiconductors, as in processing chips, as in the shovels that are being sold in the gold rush of AI. And it can keep going as long as there's this phenomenal amount of demand in a FOMO situation. But all of a sudden, when things start to falter, well, that's when you run into issues. So AMD taking a hit, SMCI taking a hit, and really overall SMH, which is the semiconductor sphere, it's holding steady right now. But I'm going to tell you this, all eyes are going to be on NVIDIA's earnings, and I believe that's in 1 or 2 weeks, but potential double top there, or maybe it's just a higher low. Obviously, time will tell. Fast forwarding to some of the things that came out this morning, we heard from McDonald's, and I also want to talk about Kava. McDonald's earnings miss estimates, but sales are rising in challenging environment. And then on the other side, Kava cuts full year forecast and another warning sign for fast casual restaurants. So this is kind of going the way we're seeing a theme in the world of food stocks. And I know we don't talk about them often, but not long ago, Chipotle took a massive hit, McDonald's taking a hit, Kava taking a hit. So just kind of pointing out a trend to all of you. Like I said, I know I'm not commonly trading them, and I know it's not the biggest topic of discussion in here, but I'm sure there are people trading these names. So I just want to point up like the clear trend and theme of what is playing out there. Now, for the remainder of the week, after the market closes today, you might care about Robinhood, you might care about IONQ, you might care about Qualcomm, you might care about ARM, and you might care about Snapchat. Tomorrow morning, if you care about the quantum computing world, you'll probably care about D-Wave, and Open Door is that pump and dump that's going on right now. DraftKings is there. Maybe some of you care about Archer and Airbnb. Remember, you could go to @eWhispers on Twitter if you want to see this, or obviously feel free to screenshot it as well. I just want to call those out to all of you. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It is 100% free. It'll come to your email inbox every single Sunday. I break down what's going on in the market. I give you a little cheat sheet for earnings right here. It's that same graphic. I highlight the ones that I think you're going to care most about. Once again, today, after the market closes, IONQ, Robinhood, Qualcomm, and Snap. Tomorrow, Airbnb and DraftKings, and then on Friday, Wendy's. Remember, I'm calling out Wendy's because we're seeing a pretty negative trend in that particular world. And then obviously with respect to macroeconomic events, I've already told you that today, 9:45 and 10 a.m., we do have macroeconomic data drops, and now newly scheduled at 1 p.m., President Trump will be doing a live speech/press conference. With respect to seasonality, today is very bullish, and tomorrow's even more bullish, and then Friday, guess what? Still bullish. So every single day of this week is bullish. Granted, it hasn't really played out that way yet this year, but obviously, let's see what the market is going to be bringing us today. Coming back to the overall market, I do want to let you know that we snapped this trend line. I don't necessarily consider this trend line to be the end all be all, but what I do want to point out is how we're in a tough trading situation, because right now in real time, the S&P 500, largely thought to be the barometer for the overall US equities market, we have an upside gap fill to 6821, and we have a downside gap fill to 6749. We are awkwardly in between an upside gap fill and a downside gap fill. From a technical perspective, that makes it tough because everyone's saying, which one's going to fill first. And obviously, if you definitively knew that, well, you're about to become a very, very wealthy person. But for the rest of us mere mortals who don't have clairvoyant-esque abilities, we're kind of stuck in the middle where it's a lot easier when there's only one because that's the clear target. But right now, when SPX has the upside gap fill and downside gap fill, and then obviously to make the party a little bit more fun, so does the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ NDX, the actual tech sector index, has an upside gap fill to 25887 and a downside gap fill to 25126. So same thing there. We have a live upside gap fill and a downside gap fill, making the technical situation a little bit more difficult. But from the world of technicals, I should let you know, we still have higher highs. We still have higher lows. We have not broken any of the recent lows yet, suggesting a bullish trend. Price is on top of some of the moving averages, or it's within it. So that's neutral to leaning bullish. And obviously that is true on the SPX and on the NDX. So from a price structure and momentum perspective, I would say the bulls are favored. From a technical perspective, it's awkward because we have gaps to the upside and downside. And then from a options perspective, it's kind of confusing. We have positive gamma from 6,650 all the way to 6,850. And then if we were to drill in today specifically, I would be pointing out the fact that, well, we have a bound all the way up here at 6,800 and we have a bound all the way down here at 6,700. So right now it's a giant shoulder shrug of, well, which one's going to break first? We have all this weird choppy gamma in the middle, clear shelf there, big bullish bet, big bearish bet. According to the options market, right now we have large bets on both sides. So that's obviously something we should point out. But the other thing I want to point out is there's quite a bit of positive gamma above. Remember, positive gamma is sticky, mean reverting price action. So if we push up here, expect things to slow down and expect vol, really VIX, to really get crushed. However, to my astute viewers, you're going to see that we have some negative gamma down here. So yeah, as we go, things could get a little suspect. And then really the dam breaks if we break 6,700, but that is a gigantic if. So really the bull case, bear case is if we get above and hold above 6,800, I would argue that the bulls are in control. If we break below and hold below 6,700, I would argue that the bears are in control, and actually the unwind could be pretty brutal. And while we're in the inside, and I just want to clarify, the inside is 100 points. That's a very large range, which is another thing that makes actively trading this environment a little bit more difficult. But as we're in between, we could just ping pong around these levels. So right now, this is a time of patience. This is a time of, yes, watching the key gamma levels. And of course, as I always do, I have them marked out for you today. This is what I'll personally be watching. Right now in pre-market trading, we're trading around 6,770, as in we are trading literally just at yesterday's low. Even in all that craziness overnight, and the bell just went dingity ding ding ding. Hang on. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. We literally opened at yesterday's low, closing value, which is close to low. So this is the setup. Here's our transition zone: bullish above, bearish below. The obviously the green, the red, and the white are yesterday's high, low, and close, important technical pivot levels. And then the yellow horizontal lines are the major open interest levels. So watch for reactions there. But if I really had to summarize this, whether maybe you're not just like scalp trading off like little levels, it's coming back to this. If we can get above 6,800, great. Bulls are looking pretty solid. If we somehow snap 6,750, that's questionable, should be raising an eyebrow. If we go below 6,700 and actually close below it, that's where you have to look out below. So every single day, remember, my mental framework of what trading is and isn't, I am of the opinion that predicting is stupid. If you're predicting bullishness or bearishness as an active trader, I think you are miles behind what you need to be doing as a profitable trader. I think what you should be doing to be a profitable active trader is react to developments. Map out the bull case, map out the bear case, pay attention to the key reaction levels, and as we are getting a reaction at those levels, trade with trend and identify the low risk, high reward opportunities. Don't try to predict a breakout or breakdown. React to the thing that's actually happening in front of you. So I just want to remind you of all of that as we are getting going on the day. Let me get here. Let's get over here. Bitcoin having a rough go of it. We'll throw up the Russell. The Russell's actually green this morning. We are slightly red on both. I do have some live positions. How are we doing today? I made about 50K unrealized yesterday, up about another 2.7 this morning. I have VIX calls, Q puts, and SPX puts. I've been in them for a while. I'm already up 39%, 40%, and 20%. I do not recommend chasing it just because your risk would be completely blown out. And I believe I have one more position elsewhere. Hang on one second. I have this other brokerage on this computer, my DGen brokerage. How's that one doing? Okay, that's up about 14,000 on those two. I did lock in one over there. Interesting. All right, we're going to see how this plays out. Because we have an announcement at 9:45 and at 10 a.m. And also over the last 2 trading days, I've had weak trades very early in the morning. I'm going to do my best to stay disciplined and do literally nothing until we get those reports. I just want to keep myself in check. And as you can see here, I have not traded yet today. You can see here's my take profits. They're all up about 1.5K. I have 5 new Apex accounts right here. 50K, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's because I blew out yesterday trading the same system. I just didn't have enough drawdown to handle it, while the ones that had more drawdown to handle it, 60, like they're all up 16 to 17K. This one's up 18.5, 17, 17. So the accounts with buffer are doing phenomenal. The accounts without buffer, I'm having a tough time getting to that point of critical mass where Icarus can work without having many issues. So we're still battling it out on 5 fresh ones. Take profits doing fine, and then the big boys, the ones with more buffer, these 15 are doing very, very well. But on that note, literally as I started stream today, I'm not just leaving this buffer in here to not do anything. I did request out money, and I just got the result today, and it was not good. Actually, I'll read you the email. Hi, Matthew. Congratulations on your PA account. We received your payout request, but unfortunately, after review, we are not able to approve the request at this time. Your payout was denied for the following reasons: 50% MAE drawdown violation. So I broke the second consistency rule. So there's the 30% payout rule, and then there's another 30% rule, and I broke that on the second day that those accounts were alive. This is not a surprise. I told you guys this is how it was going to go, and the only way to quote unquote reset it is to request, get denied, and then keep trading. I did not lose the accounts. They basically just said you have to trade for another 8 days. That's all it is. It's not a surprise. I guess a part of me was hoping maybe they won't notice it. Maybe I'll get approved anyway. But it's not a surprise. I'm not here shocked thinking, what the fuck? Why didn't I get approved? I knew I broke it, and it even gave me the date I broke it. I broke it the second day the accounts were live on October 22nd because it was the day that I lost the first batch of 5 out of the 20. 5 of them were actually lost. The other 15 were that close, and then the market reverted in my favor, so I was able to save them. I was able to make some money, but it was the second day they were alive. So I'll make a full update video on it, and we'll post it to explain what is or isn't happening. I don't want to spend the most time on it right now, but not the best way to start the stream. Like, I literally just got the email at 9:20 this morning, but it's a bummer, but it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise. I knew I broke the rule, and they caught me, and I didn't lose the accounts. They just make you trade for another 8 days. And in that terms of 8 days, which is how all their cycles go, today is day 4. So I'm literally already halfway through the next cycle. As long as I execute one day today, like one trade today at minimum, and I guess I could do anything today. Ideally, I make at least $50, and then if I do that, we're already 50% of the way there. So I just want to be open and honest about what's going on, because there's not enough people who are open and honest in the world of actively trading. There's a lot of people who screenshot and they lie and they create this facade that everything is 100% perfect all the time. And basically they're completely full of bullshit. So whether good or bad news, the one thing that I want to do here with all of you is be 100% transparent 100% of the time, because I just don't see enough of that in this particular space. So it is what it is, and hopefully I just can trade for another 8 days. Apex sucks. I don't think that. I knew the rule. I told you guys even when I requested that I was going to lose it. It's not a surprise. So to say Apex sucks, you might be of that opinion, but no one's forcing you to trade there. I like Apex because I've gotten a lot of money from it. I just happen to know that this is how, I knew I broke the rule. And if you don't agree with the rules, well, then don't use it. It's kind of that simple. Speaking of that, with Apex, this is the final day. 70% off evals with code Goonie. Last day. You have 15 hours left. This is the last trading session where you could take advantage of the upgrade fee only being $40. Before this, it was $140. Then they lowered it to $85. And for the next 15 hours, it is only $40. Actually, that's the exact deal that I took advantage of for these ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was very, very cheap for me to upgrade it. Instead of paying $140, I only had to pay $40, saving me about $500. So I just want to let you know it is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. I kind of feel bad now because this is going to be the last stream of the week. Your boy is going on a little bit of a travel with my wife starting tomorrow, which means we're going to miss Payday Friday. I kind of feel bad about that. Should we do a quick, you know what? Okay. We're going to run it back. I bought more accounts to give away, and I was going to give them away next week. We're just going to run back what we did yesterday. Hear ye, hear ye. The first 5 people who send me proof that they bought an account this morning, it is currently 9:38. It is a rush. DM me on Twitter. We're going to give away another 5. If you buy one and you send me proof of it, I will give you another account for free. And if I'm out of coupon codes, I'll just go buy more coupon codes from my affiliate manager and I'll give them to you. I just feel bad that I'm missing out. Just DM me, Matt_Kohrs on Twitter. Send me proof of it. The first 5 people who do it, just show me that you're using that code Goonie. I'll give you another account. Like I said, today's the last day of the stream. We're not streaming tomorrow. We're not streaming Friday. I will be back on Monday. We're still posting content. We have videos already planned, but there's going to be no show. So the first 5 people who send me, even if you buy a single account, I will give you another eval account for free. I'll just go and buy more coupon codes. I kind of forgot that we're not streaming tomorrow or Friday, and I feel a little bit bad about that because I like hanging out with you guys. Oops, Twitter banned here. Well, I could check the timestamp, so you could send it to me on Discord. You could send it to me on Twitter. You could send it to me on Instagram. I'll just check the timestamps, but I announced it at 9:38, so it's just the people past 9:38. The first 5 people who send me proof past 9, including 9:38, just in case you're really, really fast. Obviously East Coast time, but yep, 70% off. This is your last day, and it's a pretty sick deal. $40 lifetime PA fees. That's $100 cheaper than it used to be. How are we looking pre-market? We went flat, took a little bit of a hit. We're popping up to that close value. Vol's taking a bit of a hit. How's AMD? AMD's recovering a little bit. Palantir's taking a hit. Dude, did you guys see Alex Karp, the CEO, losing his mind? He called Michael Burry of Scion Capital Management batshit crazy for having a put position against his company. And even though the stock is one of the most overvalued by price to earnings ratios known to man, he was going on this, spinning this story of how much the shorts are against him, this, that, the other thing. I mean, I like Palantir. I do. It's in my long-term investment account. But to think it's not fundamentally overvalued, that's a little bit crazy. And he was just going so hard. And then because Bitcoin was also taking a hit yesterday, they had Tom Lee on CNBC, and he was losing his mind too. I mean, we should probably make some extra videos on those guys because Alex Karp of Palantir and Tom Lee of Fundstrat were just losing it. Where are you headed, Matt? Out of the country? Actually, oddly enough, I am leaving the country. I don't commonly leave the country, but it feels like right here, back-to-back weeks, we're going from one country to another country. Sometimes you just got to do some stuff, you know? Sometimes big business calls. Now I'm finally auditioning to be the Cheez-It mascot and be the actual representation of Cheez-It. So we're on the 4th round of callbacks for interviews, and I don't know if it's a legit one for the commercial. They make me get naked a lot, and I'm not really sure what being naked has to do with Cheez-Its, but hey, I just take the director's his commentary and his input, and I try to represent Cheez-It the best way I possibly can. Trying to escape New York? Nah, I think that stuff's overblown. I think all these people are like, we're gonna leave. Maybe they will, but my bet is that no one's gonna do shit. Pause. Palantir is good at talking in circles. Well, they're also good at making the stock go higher and higher and higher and higher. Time to invest in Cheez-Its, dude. This is not a bit. This is not a joke. If you guys saw how many times I've DM'd the Cheez-Its account on Twitter asking them to like sponsor me or just to be my friend or just to hang out, you guys would actually be like, does Matt have like a problem? Like, this is not like a normal social behavior. Not a bit. This is 100% not a bit. I have DM'd the Texas Roadhouse and the Cheez-It account on Twitter way too many times, like to the point where I'm surprised they haven't taken out a restraining order on me. I don't even know if a business can take out a restraining order on an individual, but we are legally pushing the line of how much you can talk to them without them responding, or if they like, hey, stop talking to us, like you need help, like that type of a thing. That's where we're at in my life. Won't let me send you a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open. My DMs are not blocked. So that's more of a you thing. But as you can see, only 2 people have DM'd me. So you still have time. Like I said, if you buy an account, all of the posts past 9:38 this morning are valid for this giveaway. 70% off. Use that code Goonie. Only a $40 fee. And for the first 5 people, I'm going to go buy more coupon codes so I could give them away to you, just because we're missing Payday Friday this week. And we're missing a whole nother stream on top of it. And I'm feeling a little bit bad. What's your Instagram? All my social media is the same thing. Matt_Kohrs right there. Matt_Kohrs. You're going to be able to find me on MySpace, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace again, and for the 3rd time, also MySpace. So I'll be reaching out to you guys today. All I'm going to do is do what I did yesterday and just look at the times that you guys sent it to me. I'm going to look at the 5 fastest times, and I'm going to go get the codes and then give you guys the codes. What kind of Cheez-Its are we talking? Original or hot and spicy? Oh, original all the way. I'm not against the other flavors, but also they already hit perfection the first time they made it. I just want to be very clear on that I am not anti other new forms of Cheez-Its. But they already literally perfected it on attempt number 1. They really, really did. This is almost the same as Sydney Sweeney. Cheez-It stocks are going up, dude. I hope so. Dude, Cheez-Its, you can't have a bad day when you're munching on a little bit of Cheez-It, you know? Original or toasted? I like both. I'm going to go with original every time, but I do enjoy all of them. White cheddar's maybe my least favorite. They're still good. Asiago's good. I like the party mix. I like the toasted. They're all good. Like, I'm going to eat them all. I guess if I had to stack rank them, I would put white cheddar at the bottom of the list. Extra cheesy is good. The Cheez-It Puffs, they're good. Folks, you're not going to find me bad-mouthing any form of Cheez-It. Within the realm of Cheez-Its that I like, I'll let you know my ranking. And white cheddar's probably at the bottom, but yet they're still good. They're in the realm of good. They're just the least good on a relative comparison to the other one. Grooves, they rock. They're groovy. They have a new Baconator Cheez-It out. I haven't heard of it, but I got to try one. White cheddar is low, unsub. Not just low, but it's probably at the bottom of my list. It's probably legitimately at the bottom of my Cheez-It list. Pepper Jack cheese is God tier. It's hard to argue with it. I actually think they're all God tier. They're just different. Like, if we have to rank them at a certain point, they can all be good, but you have to make tough cuts in this business. In this business of a potential Cheez-It influencer, sometimes you have to make tough cuts. And my first cut would be white Cheez-Its. Like, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm telling you, I'm going to be losing sleep over it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable, but this is the tough business of Cheez-It influencing, and it's not meant for everyone. I'm not saying the road that I'm on is an easy one. And in reality, I don't think many people could walk this road. I think many people want to live their life without thinking about how to stack rank their favorite Cheez-Its. But that's one thing about me is Mama Kohrs didn't raise no bitch. I'm willing to answer the hard questions, even though it could be painful. Even though they could be painful, I am willing. So it said racist because I put white cheddar at the bottom. Would it be more racist if I put black pepper at the top? What if I have black pepper and white cheddar as like perfectly equal? Which one is more racist and which one is less racist, I guess is the question. I don't know which one's the racist way and which one's, is it more or less racist to have black pepper above or below the white cheddar? I'm now afraid.
Order submitted.
Oh, golly. The bot's trading.
Target filled.
The bot just made one. Oh, you guys can't see it, so you probably don't believe me. Over here. The bot, we took that Orbo trade again. Easy peasy lemon squeezies. Dude, how crazy could that be that you make $200 and you're literally just fucking off talking about the things that really matter in this world, Cheez-Its? This is why bot trading is where it's at, folks. 195 locked in. And fortunately for us, we're also getting to the bottom of this Cheez-It debacle, if you will. Making money and figuring out the big Cheez-It game. I might need to be paying attention a little bit more than I already. Well, no, I'm kind of waiting for the 945 report. I guess was good because the market started popping there. Remember, there's more reports coming out at 10 a.m. Arguably more important results. Here's our boy Rick.
They're less than expected and less than the mid-month read. They're still sequentially higher than last month, which is the comp. So on the services side, it's the weakest since last month when it was 54.2, and on the services side, 53.9 in SEP. The reason the market yields are going up, you see 412 and a 10-year, is because we're now taking out yesterday's 411 high yield. And should we close at 411 plus or higher, it would be a fresh 1 month high yield close in 10-year.
People are selling calls and buying puts.
PMIs to come out at the top of the hour, fresh October.
We still have
reads,
more data coming out at 10 a.m. We have more data coming out in 12 minutes, which is why I'm trying to do my best to literally do nothing until then. But obviously, since 9:45, the market liking that reaction, clearly liking that reaction. 4 minutes a pop. Most importantly, like I said, we took out this level. I called out 66. We broke yesterday's low. The bears were unwilling to push it further. We popped up to the closing value, the next level. From here, if you're bullish and we hold 80, if you took this trade right here at 946, risking this recent low, you probably scale out a little bit here. The next target is 800 flat, and that's going to be a big test of this day. But I do want to remind you, we're still on the bearish side of things. We are below the transition zone. And obviously, I myself, and hey, do whatever you want. I'm not your mom. But I just want to remind you that we have another report coming out in 10 minutes. The 5-minute momentum is bullish. The 10-minute momentum is bullish. The 30-minute momentum is now bullish. Oddly enough, we've inverted, and the 4-hour momentum is still bearish. This is all with respect to the S&P 500. Bullish, bullish, testing, but going bullish, and then clearly bearish. Same thing on the NASDAQ. 5-minute, 10-minute are both clearly bullish. The 30-minute is testing bullish, and the 4-hour, once again, kind of switching up the tone, is actually on the bearish side, which is the first time in a while that the larger time frame has been on the bearish side. If we fully recover, we're talking about 200 points above, and hey, maybe that's in the cards today. Or on the flip side, maybe we pop to 800 and fail. Maybe we fail here at 80. It's going to be somewhat dependent on this announcement coming out pretty soon. So I'm attempting to do nothing right now. Just waiting. Someone is asking about the gap fills. Yes, SPX has an upside gap fill and a downside gap fill, and so does the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has an upside gap fill and downside gap fill. Can I bring this to the front? Visibility, text, style, coordinates. How do you do I right click, template, visual order, bring to front? Okay, cool. So yes, you have an upside gap fill and a downside gap fill on both the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. As to which one gets filled first, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. What announcement? You have the ISM services PMI and prices coming out. So it's just another data drop coming out in about 8 to 9 minutes. So I'm kind of waiting for that. Maybe it leads to a 10 a.m. reversal. I'm by no means definitively telling you that we're going to have a 10 a.m. reversal, but over the past couple weeks, we've been just kind of taking note of the fact that at 10 a.m., there's been reversals commonly. Not every single day, but it feels as if over the past 4 weeks, more often than not, more than 50% of the days, whatever direction we're going at 10 a.m., right now we're clearly pumping up, it does seem to have some sort of reversion. Of course, I could easily point to a couple counter examples here and there, but the general vibe is people are fading that initial morning movement. So will that happen today? I have no idea, but what I can tell you is most likely the battle is going to lead to 6,800, which is a huge, oh wait, this is a new position, 6,720, huge put credit spread below. Right there. Giant put credit
Watch some
spread.
of the gainers on the NDX. Micron's up 7%, trying to get back to the highs of the year, which would be around 237.
Micron having a decent day.
Also on the list,
7%.
Marvell, LRCX, AMAT, Intel further down the list, as the Dow's up 178. Back in a minute.
Did you get the DM regarding the eval? I just bought one. Patrick, do you legitimately think I'm going to take a break from streaming just to check my DMs? Chill out, brother. I'll do it after, as I did yesterday. There's a lot of impatience generally in this world. Like, Patrick, like really in you, like deeply in your soul thought I'd be like just like pausing the entire stream to go through all of the DMs to see who did what and send that out right now. You thought I would just like at market open in between data reports when we're talking about gap fills, we have crazy movement in the delta. You thought I'd be like, hey guys, actually, I'm just going to go silent for a little bit and go through all of my DMs. Like you thought that's how today was going to work. Like, honestly, like not retort, like deeply in your soul, you thought that's what I was going to do. Like, honestly, you thought that. Of like, hey guys, stream's over. Time for me to check my DMs. This is what socialism does. All right, we're breaking above some key levels we saw recently on ES right here. This 4 hour took out the high from yesterday afternoon, but bullish. NQ not far away. It kind of wants to make that move as well. So we'll watch this. You know, one thing that I want to, did I proper? Okay, I did. Yeah, we already took out the extended hours trading high right here at 600. 25,000, I guess 596. We'll call it 600. But we got that dip in the morning, caught itself right at that 50 EMA, pumping up. You have a little bit of a shelf here at 680. So that's about 15 points above where we are right now. Probably worthwhile to watch that, but I guess obviously to be transparent about what the hell I'm doing, I am once again just waiting for this announcement to come out. I'm waiting for this data to drop because we are seeing this pump. And as much as this pump might be impressive, let me remind you that we've seen this recently on Tuesday, as in yesterday. We saw a gigantic pump. We pumped from 66 all the way to 20, and then at 10:41 we hit that peak, ran into some resistance, and then vomited all the way back down. So these morning pumps, they do get reverted. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball that's going to tell you how today plays out, but just be careful from a psychology standpoint. It's called recency bias, to assume that what just happened is going to keep happening. And with that in mind, I would really just caution you, maybe just wait for this data report.
Let's get to Jim and stop trading.
What's Jim up to?
You know, Carl, you mentioned Johnson Controls. You're doing some work on it. That is the leading cooling. They make coolers like Vertiv in the data center, and they make the air conditioners basically to keep it cool.
What is he talking about?
It was the best number they've had since 2019. It's incredible. And it's
Mag 7 is not following
Every time you
suit.
get away from the data
That's
center,
our
you get
first
something
clear
like
divergence. There was selling, and we went flat. Mag 7 is not buying
Eaton did it the other day. People didn't really like the quarter. That was a mistake. I see Vertiv going much, much higher. So, yeah, I mean, I keep coming back to the greatest building of our time, which is the data center build-out. And Johnson Controls is a huge winner.
Yeah, we were watching Caterpillar yesterday,
is the major downside target of the day.
Right here, 6, that's another big part of the puzzle there, Jim. We didn't talk too much about Mad Money tonight, but I know it's going to be a special show.
Yeah, but we've got Axon. The stock's down very badly. I want to ask about competition from Motorola, by the way. Skyworks, that's that merger that I mentioned. But then the main thing is we got Larry Culp, GE Aerospace. Larry invited me up. He used to teach here. You know, obviously he's had created, I think, the greatest
This is pretty boring. I have no fucking clue what they're talking about. I want to point out that even though the market has been pumping pretty much starting at 937, but really got going at 945, the Mag 7, the combination of Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla, the 7 stocks that have the largest influence on the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, even though those prices are going up, the options market is not agreeing. People are not buying these calls. And in fact, they actually bought some puts this morning. So even though price is going up, I just want to say right now there's a divergence. I don't know who's going to prove to be right and wrong. Maybe price is right and options spin up, or maybe options are right and price spins down. But right now, I just need to point out this divergence between the options flow and the price of the Mag 7. You can see here on the S&P 500 that they are much more in lockstep. Prices going up once again, starting at 945 because of that first report, which was obviously pretty good. And now options are going. Right now, different than yesterday. Remember yesterday how I kept pointing out that the movement was just because of puts? People were taking their profits on puts. They were basically selling puts. Here, it's different. People actually bought calls. Once again, starting at 945. This green line is 0 DTE puts. We're seeing puts pop up. So I just want to point out that, yes, the S&P 500 trend intraday, higher highs, higher lows, and the delta looks good. But there is a clear mismatch in the Mag 7. Once again, the big tech plays that really kind of rule the roost here. Even though price is going up in lockstep with the S&P 500, people are not that optimistic in their options at this moment in time. And if this is the data we can read, if you ask me what's going on, my prediction, it's one of two things, or maybe a combination. I think the market wants to see this get reevaluated, 6,800. Everyone wants to know, are the bulls strong enough to keep it up here? Are the bears weak enough to allow us to keep it up here? Or is this just going to be a profit-taking point? There is a chance that these 0 DTE call buyers, once again, let me show you this. The green line are 0 DTE calls. There is a non-zero chance that we run to 6,800, maybe a little bit of an overshoot, and then all of a sudden we see the green line tilt, which means people are locking in their profits and we're removing positive delta from the system, which would basically send us back down 30 more additional points. So being mindful of what is happening on the 0 DTE calls. There was a lot of call buying. However, if this is just a quick little trade and they decide to take their profits right here, as quickly as we went up, we're going to even more rapidly go down. And there is a chance that this is going to be associated with the data report coming out in about 30 seconds. So a couple things to watch here. You're watching 6,800, which is, I don't know, about 50 cents higher on the SPY, wherever the SPY is currently at. I more so pay attention to the SPX, but if you're looking at the SPY, that brings us to 677, call it 75, roughly in that region. But most importantly, watch 6,800. Watch what's going on with these calls. See how the call buying stopped as we're getting close to this zone. I'm just curious, will that bullishness continue, or are they going to take in their profits and we're going to watch this dip? And as I've already been alluding to, there's a very good chance that it's going to relate to the news that's about to come out. So let's pay attention to this. It's about to drop. Well, it just dropped. And what is it? Okay. I guess it wasn't the best of news. I do have the sound on here for our boy Rick to be coming back. Obviously, the market, not the biggest fan of that news at first, but honestly, I would have preferred, even as a bear, even if I was bearish, which I guess I technically am right now, I would have preferred we tap the 800 level first. I would have preferred a tap, crap, and sell off, a tap and crap, rather than people, because right here it might just bounce off the 50 EMA.
Good Wednesday morning.
Give us our boy Rick.
On the street. I'm Sarah Eisen.
Rick or
Carl
death.
Quintanilla and David Faber. We are live for you as always at Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. Coming up this hour, the Supreme Court case that all of Wall Street is watching as justices hear arguments today in the case around President Trump's authority to impose tariffs.
What did I tell you about that call selling team?
Plus, Bank of America holding its first investor day in more than a decade. CEO Brian Moynihan will join us exclusively to discuss. And Lemonade adding to big gains on the year this morning after solid results. We'll talk to that company CEO about the intersection of AI and insurance.
Let's see. Is this just a higher low, or are we coming back down to 80?
Back to Rick Santelli.
Yeah, here's our boy Rick.
Hi, Carl.
Let's get some Ricks in chat.
You see yield zooming? That's because of the following data points. October read on ISM services are strong. 52.4 is the headline, well above expectations, 2.5 points above our last look, sequentially strong, best since Feb of this year when it came in at a strong 53.5. Prices paid, moving the wrong way. Another reason yields are going up. 70.0, we're expecting
down.
68, 69.4 in the rearview mirror. Highest prices paid since October of 22, 3 years. If we look at the new orders, also well above expectations, a wild 56.2. That would be the best going all the way back to October of last year, 1 year high there. And on the employment front, we saw ADP better than expected, nothing terrific. This is pretty solid. 48.2, still in contraction territory, but better than expected, better than the 47.2 in the rearview mirror, and 48.2 would be the best since May when it was in expansion territory the last time at 50.7. So these are solid numbers. We're trading 414 now. That's up a handful of basis points as we're hovering with some of the highest closes since early October. David Faber. Back to you.
David Faber,
Rick Santelli, thank
back to you.
The Supreme Court just kicking off arguments on the legality of President Trump's tariffs. Eamon Javers is outside the court, and he has the latest for us. Good morning, Eamon.
Hey, good morning, David. It's going to be an enormously high-stakes day here at the Supreme Court today. President Trump says he's not going to attend today's oral arguments after all, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to be seated in the front row. President Trump says he believes this will be one of the most important decisions ever made by the Supreme Court. A very large part of the tariffs that the president has enacted this year are on the line here. The Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court, where Trump has appointed 3 of the 9 members, to reverse a ruling from a lower court that found that most of the tariffs are an illegal use of the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, that Trump has used that law to impose what he called fentanyl tariffs and Liberation Day tariffs, an estimated $90 billion.
I'm going to get clocked. I tried to take the 50 EMA breakdown.
Here.
I like the trade, just didn't work out.
Most likely have to return that money back to the people who paid it this year if the Trump administration
This is what I was trying to play right here.
Now, the Constitution, remember, gives the power to impose tariffs and taxes to Congress.
Vomited to the 50 EMA. We tried to bounce. I tried to short the failure. My risk was the recent high. Just didn't go. It happens. I like the trade. I'm not upset with the trade. It's a bummer that it didn't go in my favor. But in terms of my trading system, that's a very valid trade. We pump. We pull back. We try to bounce. The bounce fails. My risk is that low. There's a good chance this vomits anyway. Would have gone in my way. I just got wicked out. It happens.
We'll see what the court has to say in a short time. And by the way, guys, the companies that are suing the administration here, not the big global conglomerates you might expect. The 2 initial cases here brought by small firms, including 2 toy manufacturers, a New York wine importer, and a women's apparel company. Back over to you guys.
Wow.
Eamon, any sense on how long arguments will go? I know we'll parse every question, every word, and then, of course, when do we actually get? When do we expect we might get a decision?
Yeah, we think, over an hour for the arguments here today.
Matt,
there's
say
2
hi to
cases
Tom.
here, so you
Shout
have
out
a
Tom
bit
from
more,
MySpace.
in terms of the back and forth. And everyone's going to be looking at, which justices ask which questions here today to get a sense of which way they're leaning. That can be a tricky game, though, because a lot of times you'll see Supreme Court justices sort of do the devil's advocate thing and ask the toughest question that is the toughest on where you presume their own side is in terms of where they're coming from.
I don't mind that as a long. If you took that long at 56,
a bit
60,
of a fool's errand to try to guess
higher low.
Where they're going to come down based on the questions, but they'll take that all under consideration, and we do expect this is under a bit of an expedited procedure here, so the guessing game is that by the end of the year,
like I said, if you took this long at 60, risking either 46 or 42,
but Eamon, isn't the
your stop's
upshot
already
that
break
even
even.
if the Supreme Court does strike down the legality of the tariffs and make that revenue come back, There's still tools. There's Section 301, which, that's when the administration does an investigation into tariffs in certain industries. There's the Section 232. They've used these provisions pretty effectively as well.
What's the VIX doing? The VIX is taking a hit
there are other
today.
options, and you heard Treasury Secretary Bassett say on CNBC yesterday that they've got contingency
AMD trying to
plans
make
or
somewhat
other
of a
things that they
comeback.
can do, but those things are more cumbersome. The reason the administration likes the IEPA procedure that it's been using is because it's pretty much direct presidential
I tried to play this failure right here at 10:04.
He doesn't have to go through a long investigation process.
I put a couple things together. I said, okay, we ran up to a key level. Maybe it's getting rejected. It seems like the 10 a.m. Announcement at first wasn't so good. There was the argument for a pushback down to the trend line. The risk reward was there. It just didn't go my way. I took on baby risk and the opportunity. You saw my one profit target. It was all the way down here. So, I mean, I was in at 52. My stop was 68, something like that. So that cost me about 16 points, but my target was all the way down here at 512. So that was from a risk reward perspective, it was phenomenal risk reward. It just didn't go my way. So I'm not going to complain about it. Remember, as a trader, about 50% of your trades are going to be losses. It's a bad trade if you don't handle it properly. Like I said, 68, I mean, I could have been punished all the way up to 16. Like that unrealized drawdown would have been massive. So remember, assume like a safe mathematical assumption is half of the time you're going to be right, half the time you're going to be wrong for you to be net profitable, even in that situation. And whatever, plus or minus 10%. Let's assume you're between 60 and 40. It's all about the risk management. It's all about the risk management, which, speaking of that, I might be getting another signal here. The question is, do I want to take it? Do I want to take it?
Refunds, not so great for bonds. Thank you very much, Eamon Javers, outside
the Mag
the Supreme
7 is
Court,
still getting hit. This is why I was taking a bearish one, because the Mag 7 is getting destroyed.
Even though we
Look
don't
at
have
all
the
that
official
call
government
selling
stuff, we do get the private
Big
sector reads. So
mismatch.
ADP
Price
is
pops,
important,
but this is
and
getting
there's a little bit of a
murked.
sigh of relief, I would say, in terms of job creation. So this is private sector job creation, and you can see the number 42,000. That was better than economists were expecting, around 30,000. And also it reverses the negative number that we saw in September, which was also revised a little bit better. I think it's a sigh of relief because it doesn't signal that job market is taking another leg down in October, which was a worry. We didn't get the September official jobs report, the October
we hit
official jobs
6,800.
report. So we're reading into this, even though it doesn't have the best correlation with the government numbers.
I might take another stab here. I'm watching closely
about where the jobs are being created. And it really jives with what Rick
I'm
just
watching
reported,
closely.
how the services sector is
Might
doing
get
well.
smacked
Services
right
economy
here.
is producing jobs. Larger companies are producing jobs. Look, small and medium-sized businesses are hurting. And that's where you're seeing the job decline.
Mag 7's looking weak
I'm not
there.
sure that that's
Price
AI
is holding
related.
still.
When we
Got a
worry
little bit
about,
of a flow
is the job
alert.
momentum stalling because of AI? And there's lots of other potential reasons. Uncertainty around the economy, a slowdown in consumer spending, small and medium-sized, negative, large companies producing jobs. And David, just services, as I mentioned, 33,000 jobs added there.
All right.
Goods produced.
You get the skinny there. Important day from a legal perspective, and obviously that could have a big influence on the intraday trading. What I'm watching right here, this is kind of messed up. Let me do this. All right, that's still a little messed up. Let me show you what I'm watching here. What's going through my mind. So I took an attempt at the first momentum shift of the day. See how the 10, the 20, and the 50 all stacked. I was waiting for this breakdown. I took a stab at it, just didn't work. Then after that, we might get this blow off top situation. Also, it could be a higher low. Fuck. All right, I took that breakdown
Order
right
submitted.
there. Tight risk. Oh. 24, 22.5. We'll see. I'm fading it, which is not my favorite style. Once again, I'm waiting for my exact entry criteria. I'm not firing from the gut. The same breakdown I saw earlier. We're attempting it on number 2 here. Oh, there's an argument of will we retest 700? If I wanted to be more risk accepting, I could put it above 700, which I would do with the bigger accounts. But since I have smaller accounts to worry about, it feels like the smarter decision is probably in this zone, 84. I can survive this hit. Is it going to break down? This is attempt number 2 at the exact same trade setup. It's just which way is it going to go? Part of the reasoning on this one, once again, just to really dive into what I'm looking at, is the rejection here at 800. Maybe it retests and I get fucked. Maybe it's an actual rejection and we come back down to 86. I don't know. Assume 50-50. It's all about your risk tolerance, really. All right. I could turn it. Did we take this out? Come on, take out 42. I want to see it take out 42. Come on. See how we're starting to curl on the EMAs? I would love to move the stop right to break even and just have a freebie trade, because I'm just not the most comfortable with it, especially at the size. Come on. I would love to be able to use, if it can just get rejected right in here, because then I could use this as my risk, which is only a couple points against me. Oh, or is it just going to be a double bottom? I'm watching this recent low that we saw at 10.03. If we can snap that, obviously my stop's going to break even, or just this recent high, which is only 4 points against me, so I could accept that. But the name of the game is, can I use this? I mean, that would be a great, if we could just show a little bit more weakness, just start to crack down here. I would love to update my risk to 68. Just keep it as minimal as I possibly can. It's all about minimizing risk. Remember, control what you are in control of. You're in control of your risk. You're in control of your profit. You're in control of the management. You are not in control of the next bar. No one on this planet can tell you if the next bar is going to be a giant green one that knocks me out. No one's going to tell you if it's a giant red one that hits your profit target. You just don't know. It's a game of risk management, not a game of prediction. It's from a game theory standpoint, it's, oh, pardon me. Should I use that now? I could use 68. I could use 75. I could use 81. I'm trying to give this a second to breathe. Come on. I'm not liking the higher low and the higher low. I need to see a fresh low to feel a little bit more comfortable here. Come on, take this out. It's finding support at 50. Here's a look at Bookmap. The point of control. Okay, there are people selling at what? 69. So that's something to remember. There are people buying at 50, 45, and 42. So there's people buying, right, 50, 45. Okay, so there's people buying at the psychological level, basically this low, the three lows, the low at 10.12, 10.11, and 10.03. There are sitting buy orders right there that I have no idea if they're going to be overwhelmed or not. And then there's people selling at 68. So this is an interesting battle. Interesting battle. But I'm trying to play it off this 6,800, but still technically a higher low. We haven't taken out this low yet, which is why I'm a little bit uncomfortable, because I'm basically trying to front run the trend. Come on, just take out 42. Make my life easy. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Take it out. Fucking take it out. Shit. You son of a gun. You son of a gun. Nope. Those buyers are holding strong thus far. We got so close. We were right there. It could just be a classic double bottom, which is what I'm trying to be very mindful of. Come on. Come on. All right, freebie play. Stops at break even. If it bounces, so be it. If it breaks down, cool. That's awesome. Freebie play. Not digging myself further into a hole. Yes, knowing my luck, as I've streamed it many times to you, there's a good chance it just knocks me out and the vomits in my favor anyway. I just wanted to take risk off the table. It took out that low. I felt more comfortable. If it bounces back, there's a chance that it's like the fake out double bottom, and I just don't necessarily want to be involved in that. So at least I took my risk off the table. I want to... Come on. I'm trying to give it a little bit of room to breathe. Well, I'm not anymore, because my stop is literally just below all these wicks. So the chance of me getting stopped out is high. I could have given it more room to breathe had I not already taken a loss on the day. But sometimes you have to be mindful of that. Fuck, it's going to come tag me. Come on, get away. Get away. Don't tag me. Don't get away. Drop. Get away. Get out of here. Get out of here. Dude, get the fuck away. Am I going to get lucky? No way am I actually going to stream a lucky break that goes in my favor. This never happens. Fuck. No, stay below 50. I'm watching this key level at 50. Stay below 50. Someone cash your lucky protection magnet magic. Don't let it come back. No, fuck you. No. Shit. Get away. Get the fuck away. Get away. No. Lucky Matt to a wick. Lucky Matt to a wick. Fuck. I thought I was going to get lucky. I saw that drop. Double luck? Double luck roll? Double luck? Break. I just really need this to break 50. Double luck? Triple luck? Fuck. This is nerve-wracking. Oddly nerve-wracking. Folks, I need your protection magic at this point. Protect it. Protect the line. Shit. Why is it? Hello? Hello? What the fuck?
Order filled.
Did anyone else see how fucking weird that was? Is that just me? That is a little concerning, if I do say so myself. That was interesting. Anyway, knocked me out for break even. I think it gave me a fill half a point worse than I wanted, but I'm not going to cry about that. I appreciate the protection you guys attempted to give me there. If it starts to fail again, I might take it again. Because right here, we're getting this pump. Maybe it's just a shoulder, head, shoulder. Could be. Also could be a higher low, obviously. Here's a look at flow. Mag 7 is looking weak. Spot, fuck.
Order filled.
Well, I don't like how... Wait a second. Shit.
Order submitted.
How am I short 3? Hang on, guys. Hold your horses.
Order submitted.
Hang on. We're having some issues over here. Lock that one in. I don't want 3. I'm trying to get out of one really quick. There.
Order
okay.
filled.
Locked in 1. I didn't want to be in that one. I had 3 short for some reason. So quickly lock that in. $16 to $37. 80 points about. All right, I would love to move my risk to 55. I just need this breakdown right here. Do I want to move it to 55 or do I want to move it to break even? Another freebie trade. Come on. If it could fill this, it would make it so much more obvious, in my opinion. If we can just... I'm not even trying to get greedy at 600 here, where we've seen a lot of bounces. Where did we get? We got to 15. I put mine in 10. I feel like I'm front running it by 10 entire points. Come on. I'm moving it to break even. I feel like a good rule of thumb is when you're wondering, should I move it to break even? Probably statistically, most of the time, the answer is yes. I dug myself a little bit out of the hole, 200 there. Was I early? I'm looking at 55. I could use 61. Am I early? Because there's 61 here. I could do 1 and 1. I don't have to be crazy about it. Can I split this? I could split it. I could maybe do 1. I'm trying to think about how I want to handle it. I like that I'm on the right side of it. I don't like how many buyers... Whoa, fuck, hang on. I want to think about this. Do I want 1 at break even? Or whatever this... Because really, what is this high? 75 is... This is the high I should be using. I'm all discombobulated because I accidentally went short 3, which I'm not a fan of. I could use 65, whatever this peak is. I could use this peak. Fuck. I did not expect the bounce off of 15. Oh, how do I want to do it? What would be a good risk point? 700. Are these... Am I doing my classic tilt thing? Oh, fuck. Now I'm really losing this. Shit. Do I just want to cut this? Do I want to cut 1? I mean, are we just running back up to 800 on SPX is the real question. Options are not looking good over here. They're taking a hit, but we're seeing that pump. It's how much drawdown can I take? Oh, right off that fucking trend line. I didn't see that. Shit. Oh, that flush. All right, I'm in trouble. I'm in a situation I should not be in. I should have had 1 at break even and 1 at 75, which I think would have put me further in the hole. But now what's a realistic risk point? Do I just cut both? Do I cut 1? Do I pray? What is this high is 716. Knowing my luck, it's going to run up to 716, knock those out, and then go in my favor anyway. I feel like I could just use this high and pray. If it can break the shelf of 64, I might get lucky. But it doesn't look like it is. Do I just want to close it? But for the new accounts, they're fucked anyway. The new accounts are fucked anyway. So do I just want to focus on the bigger accounts? Because the bigger accounts are the ones that are going to be paying me my money. Dude, it just feels like such high odds that they want to revisit 700. I don't like this. The doing 3 contracts by accident right here really fucked up my plan of what I was doing. Maybe I'll get a lucky break. Like I said, if it can just crack 65, I have a fighting chance. Maybe I can have a fighting chance here. But no, that's a pretty strong recovery. And SPX, knowing the 6,800 above, the odds are against me on this one. The odds are against me. The little accounts are in serious danger right now. I need like a miracle drop for the little accounts. The big accounts are fine. On a relative basis, obviously. It's almost like you forgot you own magnets. Okay, luck. Luck. Pure luck. Streak of luck. Streak of luck. Fuck. Not luck. That's actually a fucking buy signal.
Order filled.
Wait, why are my orders fucking up like this?
Order submitted.
Take profit because of the unrealized. All right, so the take profit evals are fucking bust. Why? I'm losing. Something's going on with my orders today that I'm not quite mentally processing at the moment. I'm long 2. Do I need to do an OCO here?
Order submitted.
Come on, just give me this quick fill. Make my life a little bit fucking easier, please.
Order
All right,
filled.
cool. So digging myself out of the hole a little bit. We are going up for this 6,800 test, which is exactly what I was worried about. And just so you know, because I locked one in, the stop is now break even. So I got myself a wee bit out of the hole. And I feel like I should maybe do it a little bit more. I'm watching 700. Wow. Yeah, this reversal was brutal. And then the reason I switched is because that was a legitimate long signal right there. So if you're getting a long signal and you're still holding short, at minimum you should cut. But I decided to flip, and it made me a little bit of money. Stops at break even. So the worst case, which is not good, is 2K, which is why if I could get lucky and get a pump even up to 40 or 50 here, I might be pretty solid. Oh, the question is, what is going on with my orders, though? That's the confusing thing. If it can just get this fall through the 30 or 40, I could lock in there. Stops at break even. I want to be clear that I'm not taking on any more risk here. Honestly, I should probably, that's 705. I should probably move it up there. Restart the, I might, like, I think, am I fucking up the ATM metric? Whatever I did in the order that produced 3 since then, my orders are not like my typical base. Uh-oh, it's coming for me. Shit. Come on, hold, turn at 700. There's not many buyers at 700, that's for sure. They're at 92. My stop's at 91. Maybe I get lucky, but there's sellers up here at 20 and 25.
Order filled.
It just knocked me out. So my break-even trade. All right, so what's going on with my orders that it's so fucked? Oh, okay. Here's the weird issue. Here is a weird issue that I'm currently having. I need to do like a ratio bet. I can't trade the same contract size because the new guys don't have as much drawdown as I need them. So I need to almost trade them separately, which I do not like doing. Ratio. Is it another 800 rejection? Are we just going to vomit from here? The last time I tried to play it, I got my ass handed to me. The last time I played it, I got my ass handed to me. I really don't have much drawdown, folks, to play with. Do I want to do half size? Or do I just want to get lucky? What is, hang on, let me make sure that I'm not completely fucking up the trend. See, the Mag 7 is still weak. This is why I'm still somewhat interested in bearish plays, is because the delta flow on the Mag 7 is telling us bearish. The SPY almost told us bearish, got a big pop. Maybe it's just this secondary rejection off 68. Well, that's a higher low right there, though. What's this risk? 75. Dude, that's a lot of risk. Do I just go for it anyway? I mean, if this hits, I lose the smaller accounts again. But that's the right risk point. I mean, it's with trend. It's definitely with trend. Would you guys go long here? What's the book map telling us? A wall at 700, support at 70. So there's dip buyers here at 70. Oh, honestly, I don't mind this trade right here at 93. Long at 93, risking 74, as long as you're fine to take that much risk. At minimum, it's 1-to-1 risk to reward. And if you catch this breakout, it could theoretically obviously be big. Oh, the flow. Okay, so momentum is bullish. Intraday price action is bullish, but we're at this key level on SPX at 6,800. And the question is, are we going to break or not? So, okay, they just dumped it at 700. They all got to fill, though. So now the interesting thing is, will we come back from that? They just got that fill, and you can see it on Bookmap. They got it right here. Boom, smacked. I am intrigued by this long. What's this risk? 83. So that's 17 points of risk, which once again, my small accounts probably can't handle.
Order submitted.
Fuck, I'm getting the order limit. God damn it. Why am I getting these orders issues? Working. Okay. Do I want to cancel all the orders? I wanted to target 18 because that's the high, but I'm getting rate limit issues now again because I've placed, I guess, too many orders or moved the order too many times. That's a horrible fill. I hit it at 700. It gives me a fill at 703, 3-point slip, which means I had a 3-point slip up here as well because it's going to be based off my entry. I wanted it at either 18, 19, or 20, not 23. 23 is like a weird fucking level. Do I leave it or I'm afraid to cancel it because if it goes right now, I'm going to have no orders up there. Come on, lock that in. Okay. Orders.
Order canceled.
Okay. So now I need to switch this. None. Order cancels order. 24.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
All right. So the first one is in. So I at least have some sort of fucking protection here. We ran into 20, 25, and 30, and now it's just fucking dipping. Like, no, they're son of a bitch. If it's a higher low, I might be fine, but I can't take much heat on these. The bigger accounts are fine because there's enough buffer and you have room to work with. And this is the issue when I'm trading them all together is the smaller accounts I should be trading one contract. And when I say smaller, I mean the ones with less buffer. And then the ones with more buffer, I could trade how I normally am. But it's getting really fucking close. And that's on me. I fully recognize I should be trading them in two different styles with two different chunks. But I guess the degenerate part of me just wanted to trade them all together because if it works, that means it like works out pretty well. 20, 25, and 30. I'm targeting this middle one right here. Bullish, 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 bearish. Bullish, 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 bullish. Mag 7 is flat. S&P 500 was up. It's having its third test at this level. Oh, I like the higher low. Okay, I thought, okay, we overshoot the low at 1021, fake out breakdown, higher low. Okay, we're going to actually test and maybe push all the way up to 20 here. That was the idea of the trade. The cup and handle, the failed breakdown. Inherently a failed breakdown by definition has to be bullish. I was just hoping for more of an explosive move up. Maybe I should move my risk up to 88. I don't even know if I could take that risk on, though, in the small accounts. What is this? Okay, to be a little bit more mindful of the fact that I don't have much wiggle room at all in these smaller accounts, I might move my stop to break even, taking out this high, trying to play this cup and handle and just to protect myself. Obviously, in a normal situation, I would just move my risk to 88 and just give it a little bit more breathing room for the trend to play out. But I think I just need to be a bit more protective today just because thus far with weird orders and shit, I don't even know what's going on, but I don't even think I can move this now. I think I have to place a whole new order. But if it can break 16 here, I'm targeting the second batch once again. I'm targeting right up here, these setting sell orders. Maybe I should target 20 because there's more, but that's not many. 29 and oh fuck, it's dipping. The one thing I'm attempting to be very aggressive about the risk just because there is the non-0% chance that this is a clear rejection on SPX at 6,800. It is a key level for various reasons. It's weakening a little bit. 810. People are playing 810 and 820, so I'm kind of watching those. 720 is still big to the downside. We might be visiting that today. But I'm trying to give myself a shot just in case SPX does break out for the 10, 20 points on NQ. That's probably going to be a good push to like 50 or 60, but it might not happen. And as it goes, I'm fine on my big accounts. I am not so fine on my small accounts. Fuck. The small accounts are very much hurting. I should have traded them separately. That's the big mistake of the day. Obviously, I'm not happy with how the trades went, but I actually don't think my decision to get in was quote unquote bad. I think I was making good decisions. I think my poor decision was not trading the small accounts separately. I should have sized down, and that's 100% on me. If this can hold, I have a shot, but it keeps pushing this. It's not like in 700. Come on. It's in the market god's hands now. Like I said, if we push even this recent high, I can move my stop to break even. I'm just trying to make it a freebie play is really my goal. Freebie lotto ticket play. Oh, fuck. Come on, freebie lotto ticket. Let's take out 15, 16 right here. These light blue lines is where I want to move my stop up to break even and just take all risk off the table. And if it's a runner, it's a runner. If not, okay. I'm liking the higher low, but it's pressing it. I'd prefer that we're making higher highs. Come on, take it. There we go. That's what I want to see. There we go. Come on, take it out. Let's go freebie play. Let's see 16, 17. It's having a struggle right there. 20, now 30. I'm in the middle. I chopped it in the middle there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Are we going to break or no? 16. So lot at 20, lot at 30. Well, if we break 20, there's a good chance. Maybe I should just move this up to 29. It doesn't even let me do it, motherfucker. Interesting problem to have. I'm violating the rate limit, and that's probably because of the trade copier bullshit. It thinks that I'm putting in too many orders at once. All right, just lock one in. Let me de-risk a little bit. My mindset, there we go. Okay, cool. All right, so I could do sell stop. All right, so stop is in at break even. We have a freebie play and 1.5. So my break even is actually all the way up here. This is not necessarily my target. I'm just trying to do the math of where I'm break even. Once again, stops in. It's a lotto play. Actually, fuck. This is why sometimes it's going to knock me out, but this is why sometimes it's so good to have a fill on the other side of the level, because probably a lot of people are targeting 700. My stop's at 703. Maybe I get lucky and it bounces from here, but probably fucking not. Oh, unfortunate. Yeah.
Order filled.
I knew that one was coming because I got such a shit fill. So, okay. I got myself out of a hole a little bit there. It looks like the market is not. Dude, my orders are so fucked up today. It looks like the market is really having a tough time at 6,800. So maybe I should chill for a second because this is attempted 1, 2, 3, 4 separate times. And at this point, it's one thing to take that bet when maybe you have a lot of buffer to work with. And I gave myself back $1,000 of buffer. So now I have like maybe a shot to keep the small accounts alive. Once again, the big accounts are fine. When I say big and small, I just mean the amount of buffer. These ones have $1,400 of buffer. These ones have $17,000 of buffer. There's a huge difference in the amount of buffer I have between the new accounts and the old accounts. So I'm trying to be mindful of these quote unquote new accounts because they have no buffer. And that's why I was so aggressive with the stop to break even. Because I don't know if this is going to go or not. And because it's doesn't it feel like something is mismatched here? Like we're really, really struggling. We had this fake out breakdown. Obviously, I'll be tracking some of these recent lows, but it feels like this one here is kind of important. Let me make this blue, but we might be straight up getting rejected if we come out at 94. But of course, the longer we hold 800, that sets up the test of 810 and 820, which people right here, 810, 820, they are playing that level. If we don't hold, if we get smacked here, we're coming back down to 6,770. That would be my next watch to the downside if we get rejected in this zone. Remember, it's just it's a game of if-then statements. If rejected, then here. If breakout, then higher. But I am not. AMD is getting hit. All right, maybe we go to the 5-minute on all of this. How's vol looking? That might be a little bit. Oh, vol's falling down, which is actually suggestive of this actually breaking out and holding. But with yesterday as an example, we've seen that change on a moment's notice. Well, that trend line seems like it's fucking useless, and this trend line seems like it's fucking useless. All right. Well, that's not a real print, by the way. You would see it on SPX and ES if it were, but this weird print at 1020 is not accurate. All right. Will this break or not? We're knocking on the door, but we don't know. We are knocking away. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, all bullish. Will it hold? 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute, all bullish. Will it hold? The Mag 7 got a little bit of a pop at 1020, but the Delta Flow's mainly been going flat, so not really bullish or bearish. The SPY was up, was down, was up, was down, was up, now going flat after hitting a new Delta high at 1041. This Delta high is being noted with the enthusiasm of 0DT call buying, but it's just struggling at 6,800. This is why we're calling this out, because this is a big reaction level, and the turnaround, I suppose, gets a little bit interesting if we break. Just be mindful of the break of 94 and the break of 84 is where we might like legitimately have failed at this test. But see how we ran up to it. First rejection, pretty evident. Ran up to it again, higher low. Ran up to it again, higher low. Overshot it, higher low. Like we're just consolidating tighter and tighter at this level. As I've said a gazillion times now, had I had more buffer to work with, I'd probably take a stab at it long here and just keep risking the recent low until we change trend. But I have to be a little bit more picky. With this, which is unfortunate because if it does go, I would have quote unquote missed out on an easy play, which is shitty based on how I've traded today. But I'm not necessarily sold. It's a 50-50. And the fact that it's a 50-50, let me turn it over to you guys. Could you check the flow on Google, please? Yeah, of course. Google. Do I not even have it up here? Google. Was bullish, gave it back, curling up right now. AMD popped, dropping a little. Apple dropped, now flat. Avago up and away. Coinbase pretty much up. CoreWeave flat and then down. Robinhood messy. Microsoft up and now curling down. MicroStrategy messed up. Meta was weak, showing a little bit of strength, but kind of flat now. Netflix, not much going on. Nvidia up and away. Oracle pretty much up and away. Palantir down and now flat. And Tesla down. Price is picking up, but options aren't on old Tesla there. The Mag 7 netting out to be a flat situation. Fuck. And Vol's getting crushed. Palantir's down 2%, attempting to recover. Tesla bouncing off 442. Nvidia 202, solid push there. Meta is also looking good. So Meta and Nvidia are having pretty solid intraday movements thus far. Bitcoin showing at 103, saved itself from that breakdown at 100,000. I wish I had more insights to tell you, then we just have to watch this battle. You have to watch 6,800, and even from there, if you've been riding it up, a great entry was here at 1022, targeting 800, 810, 820. You're scaling out 1, 2, 3. That was the trade. This was a phenomenal entry. I wish I played it. I just had my head way too far up my ass. Be careful, because we know right now the Supreme Court is hearing some arguments related to the Trump tariffs, and I don't know if news will or won't leak. I don't know if they have a scheduled announcement, but in the event that they do, that's the stuff you kind of have to pay attention to, because it could be one of those random 1-minute bars that's absolutely massive in one direction or the other. So just be careful there. Yeah, dude, the bulls are really struggling to get it above 6,800. We're running in, but it just keeps running into this wall. The Mag 7, SPY. Here's what could happen. If all the 0 DTE call buyers, once again, this green line, if they just say, hey, we're done, we're happy with our profits here, and you see the green dip again, see how it dipped here on the first attempt? If it dips again, we're dropping. However, if a lot of people are like, no, it's holding well here, we think we go higher, well, then they buy more, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We're back to 6,700, this key test level. VWAP is all the way down here at 543. If we break down, that's a pretty solid target. But right now, the 10, the 20, and the 50 are all stacked in a bullish direction. The SPY is choppy at the delta high. The Mag 7 giving a little bit back recently after pretty much being flat. It's catching a bit right here. We have the super trend and the 50 EMA. It's trying to catch itself, which also is just recently at a technical low. But let's see if it does, or is this going to fail? Oh, how much? I really, unfortunately, I can't take on that much risk. Fuck me. Bummer. I was tempted by this short at 798, risking 708. Because it's just, if we shoot out a 6,800 to the south side, it's just going to keep going. Maybe I should wait for a bounce and a fail. Maybe I should wait for a first lower high. That's good. If you were me and I was giving you advice and I said, hey, Matt, What should I do when I don't have that much buffer to deal with? And I'm thinking about going counter trend. Oh, I fucking love this setup. I love this setup. We just cracked this. The question is now, is this going to fail? We took out this low at 1030. The next low, yeah, I guess you could watch 92, but I'd be watching 84. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I like it. I like it. I like it. See how we were stack bullish 10, 20, 50. Well, that just actually ripped through it. So we have the dip buyers coming in off that low. So we took out this low and the dip buyers had the buys right there. So we're getting a little bit of the bounce. The question is, does this bounce fail? So as expected, dip buyers and probably people who are long just getting clipped, they're watching that 1030 low. Does it save itself? Does it save itself? If you took that short right there, somewhat acceptable. You're short at 706. Your risk is 20. You have to size it accordingly to be able to take on 14 points worth of risk. Don't hate it though, because that would be potentially our first. We have a lower low because right here, we took out that low, we took out that low, and this is a lower high. So it's a potential trend switch. Higher highs, higher lows. We just made fresh lows. We just made a lower high. You enter on the creation of the lower high. I think that's a very acceptable thing to do. But as before, well, we never took out those lows. These ones really didn't take out. Those were equal lows. I'd be watching for the switch. Remember, red, white, and blue. The red is the 10, the 20, the 50. The 10 is now below the 20, but not below the 50. So let's see. Will the momentum switch as we saw potentially before? Oh, it's a bit too risky for me. I have about $1,000. So if I have $1,000 of potential drawdown, that's about 25 points if I do 2 contracts. So 25 points, but that's about this range right here. Fuck, that was a good trade. We just took out this low, so you can move your stop to break even. If you took that and it's above 700, you could maybe have one there, maybe one at the extreme. There's a lot of ways you could have played that. I wouldn't mind a pop to like 710 that fails. And then I could play that. I'm looking for another lower high where I could just de-risk and maybe get a little bit closer to what my actual risk value is. And I would love for the short to be above 700 just because then I could use that as natural resistance. I don't know if we're going to get that though. If it comes undone, it might be a little quick. I wouldn't mind a little bounce. Give us a bounce, 705, 710, something like that to play off of. I just don't. 75, that's 25. Okay, am I going to get what I want? Am I going to get what I want? Okay. It is important that if we bounce here to not take out that high, because then that's a fresh high. And then that would be what we saw before, a fake out sweep low that pushes higher. So I need the new structure to hold, and obviously that would be invalidated if we take out this pump high at 19. How are we looking on Bookmap? There's not much above. There's also not much below. Oh, do I do this? Am I being reasonable? Am I sticking to a trading plan?
Order submitted.
Fuck, the rate limit again. Gosh, darn it. All right. I don't know what to do now because I don't necessarily want to pull this order. I think I have to. Okay, if I switch it to none and I go to 1.
Order canceled.
No, I have to have OCO on. Dude, this order shit. Buy stop.
Order
market.
submitted.
I'm short. Buy limit.
Order submitted.
Okay. All right, so I have one in. That's an OCO. This rate limit bullshit is going to be the death of me, but I think I'm getting faster at figuring it out. I would love to just be able to drag it, but I can't. I have to like, come on, just hit this. Make my life easy. Come on, brother. Fucking make it easy. Oh, we almost got it. 77. Son of a bitch. No, not again. Not fucking again. Dude, today's gonna be the death of me with this almost fucking coulda, woulda, shoulda bullshit.
Order filled.
And it's took out one. Dude, what is going on with these fucking orders today? Oh, that's a fucking brutal beat, dude. That's a fucking brutal beat.
Order filled.
All right, that's a valid entry. But how do I think I'm getting close to getting tilted. I'm getting too frustrated at this order bullshit. And this is now fucking going against me. Jesus Christ. I have the OCO on. This management is not going exact, like, at all how I need it to go. Well, these, I'm going to lose the small accounts because of how fucking unlucky that was. So incredibly unlucky. I don't know the last day that I streamed something to you guys and it wasn't something like this. Like, you guys saw the order. It was there. Like, it's just one of these days, as before we were talking about the political pendulum going back and forth, one of these days, the pendulum is going to go from absurdly unlucky to lucky, and you guys are going to lose your mind. You guys are going to be pulling your hair out. You're going to be like, why does Matt get this unlucky? Or why does he get this lucky? Whatever it may be. And it's going to come down to, I'm getting all of my unlucky out of the way, literally as we speak. Dude, I'm getting so fucked. And I can't place these orders. These fucking rate limits are fucking me. Do I have to log out and log back in to handle this? That's an unfortunate recovery because we took out these lows. It swept it again, and it's going back to the 6,800 level. Fuck, dude. This is what's happening is I think sometimes you can keep your mental discipline and then maybe a succession of bad things happen that you feel like are out of your control. And then that causes you to do dumb things that are in your control. And I feel like I'm very much live streaming to you right now that I'm on the precipice of that. And all of a sudden, like, you get the urge to break the strategy, this, that, the other thing. And fuck, dude, fuck. And then you're just like praying for miraculous recoveries. Just like one unfortunate beat, whatever your mind perceives to be an unfortunate beat. Nvidia still going. VIX spiked there. Am I being given a gift to get the fuck out right here? I don't even know what to do with the orders because of the rate limit bullshit. They need to fix that. And I think that's on Ninja side. That's not like that's actually the platform. Fuck. Vol's picking up. Is something getting announced right now? Because things are picking up and they're getting like a little bit, just the ranges are getting a bit larger, a bit more volatile. I cannot believe how close that was for my fill, just to then fucking ram me. Fuck, this might be a higher low. Son of a bitch. What's going on with SPX? It's right at 800. It's just right at this potential level again. And I just don't have the buffer to fucking handle any of this dog shit. Oh, fuck me. Okay, I can't let this turn into that Friday of what? 2 Fridays ago, last Friday. I have to pick a level where if it hits it, I just admit I'm wrong, and whether I have to log out of the platform and back in, I just can't let it spiral, because not only are you taking on a larger loss, but then I might be missing out on a good opportunity the opposite way, and I just need to keep reminding myself of that it's a double loss, not only the loss on the trade, but then the loss on a potential phenomenal trade that's the opposite way. Fuck, dude, these orders, man. I hate that I get tilted like that so easily. Like, of course, the order thing, not necessarily in my control. It's not like I coded that up, but what you are in control of is your reaction to it. And I wish I just had that ability to stay a little bit more like calm and cool. And I feel like after the first one I did, after the second one I did, but then by the time it gets to the third one, and then I perceive this as a bad beat, like my order was at 75. You guys all saw it. It came to 77. Like, I feel like it's just like slowly like knocking away at you. Slowly knocking away at you. And obviously I think the first thing you could do to like maybe have a better shot at handling it is keep it on the forefront of your mind and be like, okay, man, don't go on tilt. Like, you just almost like a mantra. You just have to say it to yourself time and time again. Like, just, hey, like, gonna be good, gonna be like, it's gonna be fine. And just like the name of the game is just don't get fucking tilted, because that's when like one tilt day and you can lose it all. So frustrating with the orders, but that's not, you can only focus on what you're in control of. You can only possibly focus on that.
Order submitted.
Double bottom here. The ranges are just picking up like wild, like actually post me getting into the position. Come on, just don't be smart. If this was my first trade of the day, how would I handle it? Let's just be fucking calm, cool, collected. Let's not do anything fucking stupid. Let's just follow the system. Follow Icarus. Let's not deviate. Let's not size up. Let's not take random trades. Let's not try to override it. Even that one hit 76. It still would have never hit it. Low, yeah, 76. Even if I had that at 75, if I kept that whole time, it still like wouldn't have done shit. Fuck. That's a strong bounce. That's a strong double bottom bounce. Let's see how this goes. I need a failure of 700 very, like, now. Oh, wait. I was getting off track to what I told you guys. I need to pick the oh shit line where, like, I just admit I'm wrong. It's just, I'm having a tough time doing it because the SPX keeps getting rejected at 800, but knowing my luck, damn, look at how much we're moving. That was fucking 40 points. Like, we're moving per little bar here. We're moving 10 points, 20 points like it's nothing. Is something going on news-wise that's, like, causing this? Fuck, dude. I need this rejection bad. I'm not even sure I like my position anymore. I can like feel it in myself that I'm getting so close to getting tilted, and it's just more, can I like fucking just chill and stop this bleeding? Fuck, dude. That's a lot. I thought I was going to get lucky here. This fake out, breakout, rejection, tag the low. Nope. Fucking bounces all the way back up. Granted, it's just like this larger range. I really thought I was going to get lucky for a second. I deeply did. Like, look at that vomit. It's so strong. And we even cracked. As soon as I saw it go a point lower, I was like, okay, cool. Like, you got lucky. And then it bounces all. It goes from 75 up to 30. Like, that's just so fucking brutal. Come on. Rejection back down. Is the smart thing maybe to unload one just to carry less risk? Or if it cracks it again, is it actually going to go? Like, it's just one of those things that, you know, whatever you decide to do, you're probably going to be on the fucking wrong side of it. Come on, snap 700. This is the level that matters. 700. Dude, I am in a mental purgatory right now, folks, of trying to fucking handle this properly. I'm trying to be balanced between giving it a real shot, but then, like, if it goes your way, you're like, well, was I being too fucking greedy with it? Come on, just fucking snap 700. If we can hang out below 700, I have like a fighting shot. But every time we go below, buyers are sending it right back up. SPX is right at 6,800 again. I'm not liking it today. Mag 7 is still doing nothing. SPY did pop, giving it back. It's just this battle at 6,800. I have a 50-50 shot. Either we're getting smacked here or we're going above it. Fuck, that's not, I don't like being in 50-50 shots, obviously. All right, we're right at 700. What's the book map looking like? We're right at 700. Is it going to hold or is it going to fail? We're going for luck today, team. We're taking all skill and reasonable decisions and we're tossing them out the window. If anything, I should have, my real problem today is that I'm not wearing the Lucky Buffalo shirt. This would have never happened had I put on my Lucky Buffalo shirt to battle the market today. Would have never happened. Mark my words. You know, Craig, that's a great question. Got a hard stop set yet? I don't, and I should, which is probably a really, really fucking good sign that I'm tilted and not making the best decisions. Oh, fuck. Day in and day out. Why is this? I just follow the system, dude. It shouldn't be this hard. It should not be this difficult to just do something super basic. NQ is bouncing off the 1 minute 50 EMA right here. It's basically my fill. This is the 1 minute 50 EMA. Come on, just hang out below. It just keeps finding support here. And even on the times it flushes, it goes down about 25 points. And then that's it. Fuck, it's coming back. This might be a higher low. I'm trying to be hopeful and optimistic, but at the end of the day, that has, like, being hopeful and optimistic has nothing to do with the stock market. You can fucking hope as much as you want, and that has literally no impact. The only thing that has impact is just making smart risk-reward decisions, which I feel like I started out well. Things didn't go my way, but I was accepting of that. And then through some unlucky, like, order bullshit on Ninja, and then through some very close fills that just didn't get filled, I think I keep talking about this just because, like, I'm hoping that me saying it over and over again, like, actually stops me from getting fully tilted. Because, like, it really should just come back to the ultimate question of, like, what's the worst pain you want to suffer? Set the stop there and move on with your life. Come on, fucker. Shit, dude. Every time it's looking a little lucky, we're just stuck in this big range that basically got created at 1025. So like, even though it looks like we're moving crazy, in reality, top of the range, bottom, top, bottom, top, bottom, top. We're just bouncing this range. And unfortunately for me, I'm short near the bottom third of the range at a size I shouldn't be. Like, I thought the trend was changing. I was trying to follow those EMAs, and it just went from maybe trending to like choppy sideways in a very large range right now. Fuck, dude. Damn. There's the logical math part of me that says, okay, cool. Like, let's just keep our risk in control, set the stop and handle it. But then there's that like the degenerate part of you that every single time it's going a little bit in your favor. You're like, okay, like this is it. This is like exactly what I needed. And even though I took on like more risk than I should, it's finally going to break my way. And like trying to reason between those two and just trying to follow it's almost like the devil and the angel on your shoulders, except one is like the logical math like professor voice, and the other one's like the degenerate voice of like, maybe we're just gonna get fucking lucky. And like, as much as I'm trying to follow the right voice of like management, every single time I see this starting to push, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, my dumb little monkey brain is saying, oh, like this is gonna go my favor. Like, here we go. Like, this is exactly what we looked for. And it's that reasoning where I just hate it. And I hate that about trading, or I hate that about me trading, is that the voice, that degen voice of like, maybe we're just going to get lucky, like give it some fucking room, it's going to work out. I hate that. I fucking hate that, because like there's nothing, it's a special type of fucking trading purgatory, like absolute mental hell when you know better. And then some days you're just struggling with getting yourself to do exactly what you know you should be doing. Come on. What is this low? 88. I'm looking for a snap of 88. All right, we just took it out, it looks like. But look at that. We're just fucking up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Like big sizes too. You are reinforcing the degen voice if this is successful. Oh, I fully admit that. And that's like one thing that I really, really fucking hate about it, is sometimes when you make the degenerate, gambly, non-math decision and it works, whether consciously or subconsciously, it's backing you up on the next one to keep it going. So like, you're not really breaking the cycle. And it's weird because you got the positive feedback of making money. So it's dangerous. Like, you are not wrong to critique that. And that's part of trading. And that's why I've created systematic trading. That's why I'm exclusively trying to follow Icarus, because like, hey, the math is the math. And as much as your mind might go this way, that way, or the other way, like ideally pure systems are going to keep you on the track. So I'm just trying to not get too fucking far away from that. I don't even know why I have this one at 55 at this point. The point of control is 73-ish. Dude, if this is like the fifth fake out sweep low, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And it looks like it is. How many times are we going to sweep a low just for it to have a dramatic pop fucking back up? Like, God damn, we just can't create a new trend. We're just like, dude, these, whether it's the sellers quickly taking their profits, the buyers quickly stepping in, or a combo of the two, every single time we sweep lows, like we just don't get that trend. I'm getting too frustrated about this. POC is the point of control. It's where most, it's the price that most volume has been traded at. fuck me, dude. Like, look at, we swept low, big bounce, swept low, big bounce, swept low, big bounce. And there's nothing you can really do about it. That is going to be a characteristic of the market, which means you just have to be better prepared, as in your positioning, as in where you get in, and then also your sizing. We're not going to be able to change the fact that there's a lot of fucking fake outs and sweeps. Like, that's a part of trading. So because it's a part of trading and we're not going to change that part of trading, it means you need to have better fills, well, now I could probably legitimately use my entry as my risk if it breaks 66. All right, so things are maybe on the luck side, whatever it is, luck or not, things are, if we could take out this recent low, I could probably, right here, the wick is pretty much my entry. I don't like that it's on the south side of 700, but it just is what it is. And I just have to remind myself, follow Icarus. I have Icarus. Icarus is firing off over on this other screen, telling me exactly what to do. Just don't deviate. Come on, get this fill at 55. I'm targeting right here. You could see some people. Nope, fucking bounce. I just try to put in an order and now I can't even put in orders. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. I literally can't put in orders. I've now twice. What the fuck do I do, dude? I'm afraid to pull this because I want out of some. Come on, just why can't I? I am short. I literally can't put in orders. I don't know what to do. Like, I am right here. Click. Buy, stop. Oh shit, now there's 4. Fuck, dude.
Order canceled.
Oh, dude, this is not going my way today.
Order submitted.
All right, that order is back in. I was putting in orders and you saw that it piled in a gazillion at a fucking time. Is this going to bounce all the way fucking back up and knock me out? Today is not turning up Mateo. We'll be honest about that. Today is not turning up Mateo. But even when it's not, this is a game of psychology. Stick to the plan, even if shit's not going your way. And I'm saying this to remind myself right now, and I think it's also good, like, actual trading advice. Right now, I'm seemingly having every fucking issue you can, but that's all right. That's going to happen in trading. Stick to the plan. Do everything in your power. Do not deviate. The plan is there for a reason. Like I said, I'm saying this right now as my own mantra to remind myself. And I'm also saying it because I think this is like good advice, everyone. Shit's going to go wrong. Like that's the game of trading when you're dealing with internet, technology, random fucking events here and there. Like, shit, it happens. Like, it's a game of trading. We get it. There's no fucking crying in the casino. You're not allowed to cry in this casino. Shit's going to go wrong. It's going to be part of it. I'm afraid to try to enter this, but maybe I should.
Order
okay,
submitted.
That one worked. But it's not an OCO, so I might have to manually manage that. If one of these is hit, I think I have to manually manage the other. Well, that was a fucking huge pop for no goddamn reason. Dude, vol is real. Like, we are starting to move today. To the point where, like, what the fuck is the news? What is that? 78. That might not be the worst place, but I can't drag it down there. I'd have to. fuck. We're finding support in the high 50s, the low 60s right now. I thought the support would be found at 50, hence why I'm front running it by 5 points. But in reality, it just means I didn't get my fill by 3 points. I've been trying to be better about this. I'm like, okay, if the fill... Fuck, dude. Is it coming all the way up? Good chance it wants to either revisit my high, this 95, or 700. So perfect zone to knock me out and then plummet anyway. Come on. Fuck. Dude, look how quickly this shit is all moving. Fingers on the trigger. Finger is on the trigger. Wow. This is going to fucking clock me. And the sad thing here is it's probably going to be a... What does this system actually call for? 701, but it's going to tag that anyway. If it tags me, the chance of it going to 71 and then I'll put me deeper in the red, and I don't want to do that. So like I need to front run it a little bit here. Hopefully we get a 50 EMA rejection. I'm looking at 92. Odds are low of this working for me just because 700 is right there and I could use 701, but why take on that extra 6 point of risk when like there's a good chance if it hits this, it probably wants to reevaluate this level. I could move it up to 707, but I don't want to take that risk. Like that's just a little too far away. 13 points, 2 contracts, just digging myself deeper in a hole. This is such a bummer of how close it was getting to for me to scale out, break even. Like
order filled.
And it put me in dude, I don't get what the fuck is happening with these orders today, dude. My orders are so comically fucked. What is this? I don't get it. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, like I said, I wanted fully out at break even because the logic was, well, hang on, if it's tapping 94, 95, there's a good chance it wants to hit 700. I had reasonable risk at 71, but at that point, just take the break even. And then I couldn't even get out for break even because these orders are just dog shit. I think I have to reconnect. I don't know what data feed issues. Something's going on that is fucked with my data. Oh, wow. And that bounced so far fucking against me. I cannot believe how this is going. I should have been out. Like, I mean, I thought I had the order for break even. I think, yeah, I think, I don't know if I need to disconnect, reconnect, restart my internet, but something is going off with, I mean, I literally streamed it to you that my orders started to get a little bit funky. And then from there, they're just arguably getting even fucking worse. Look at that. How many fucking fake out breakdowns are we going to possibly have today? It's one thing on one, like I don't mind playing the first one of like, oh, okay, we shifted low. Okay, that's whatever, stop loss hunting, whatever you want to call it. And then we pump. But today we've done it now like kind of 3 separate brutal fucking times. Just sweeping. And now look at that pump, Motherfucker, dude. Mag 7 was getting tilted, now popping. S&P 500 was getting tilted, 1121, so on. Look at that's a buy program right here. This is systematic buying 0 DTE calls and selling 0 DTE puts. Someone turned it on at 1121. It's too perfect. It's too uniform to just be a bunch of other, like, that's a perfect linear rip. That's a system. That is a bot just continually buying calls and selling puts, running this up. And specifically, it is 0 DTE calls are being purchased and some 0 DTE puts are being sold, and it ripped it to that 800 level. Wow. Right off that trend line, too. VIX was going up, getting hit. Holy shit. Crazy. What a crazy day. Not much of the structure has, like, in reality changed. It still comes back to, do we hold 800 or not? We dipped all the way to 88, which was a strange level. We took out like 1, 2, 3, 4 different lows. I thought on that break of 92, 94, whatever it was, we were going to go to 84, the key low that we saw at 1021. But nope, we arbitrarily started to bounce off of some random ass level. Systematic down, systematic up. We kind of inverted that saying. This was almost like stairs down and elevator up, and it's just the impact of the bot system right here. I mean, that is without a doubt. It looks like it's over now. It went flat. But that was an incredible amount of buying, an incredible amount that is not good for what I needed it to be. And I thought I was going to be out at break even, which I don't mind that. That type of shit happens, but hey. Well, anyway, the only savings grace today is that Apex still has those deals going on. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to be getting
Order
more.
Filled.
What the fuck, dude? Yeah, it looks like I'm going to have to be fucking buying more of those. Dude, today's just not my day. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but these orders, this is such bullshit.
Order canceled.
Oh, I need to figure this out. It looks like I need to disconnect and reconnect and then see what the order system is doing. But this is the final day to take advantage of Apex, 70% off with code Goonie. But better than that is the $40 lifetime fees. They used to be $140, then they dropped them to $85. Now they're $40 for the remaining 15 hours. This is your final trading session to maybe be able to take advantage of it. Icarus is in the sun, unfortunately. Well, it's more of the order thing. I think Icarus would have been faring far better than I fucking did today. Far better than I did today. It's just I don't know what's going on with the order system right now. So whatever's going on, it seems like it's from just the initial idea of what's happening here. It seems like it is my computer's connection to Ninja, that something is wonky in that connection. So I'm going to disconnect, reconnect, reset my internet, and hopefully I can actually like legitimately start sending in orders and see how the fuck this is going to play out. But this is a special fucking purgatory without a doubt. So, all right, folks, we'll be posting an update video later on today. No streams Thursday or Friday, but we will be posting content. And then take advantage of the Apex deal. This is the last deal. And hopefully you are not having order issues the way I fucking am, because this, like I said, is just absolute fucking hell. So best of luck to y'all. Keep the train on the tracks. Follow your system. Don't oversize and don't get into trades that you shouldn't be getting into. Stick to the system, and then hopefully your orders are doing what your orders should be fucking doing. That is what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. Content coming out tonight, tomorrow, next day. I'll hang out in the Goonie Discord. Shout out to everyone who's there. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you crush the market. Peace.